Hello, Maker of Minnesota friends and fans. We have a very special event coming up. I'm hosting a series of Makers of Minnesota dinners at the Lexington in St. Paul, and I'm so excited. Not only will you be front and center with some of the best makers in the Twin Cities, but you'll be treated to a 3-course dinner, compliments of Chef Antonio from the Lexington, and he'll be using the featured makers' ingredients in all the courses that he's making for this special event. Our September dinner is Tuesday, September 28th, and tickets are $98. Our featured makers are the talented folks from Alamar Cheese, Red Table Meats, Bakersfield Flour and Bread, and Tres Leches in the Food Building in Northeast Minneapolis. We will be the exclusive diners in the restaurant for the entire evening, and you will mingle with me and your favorite makers and taste their wonderful products. And a special treat, you can even pre-order the first ever Makers of Minnesota holiday box filled with my favorite products from makers all around the Twin Cities. We'll have a limited number of tickets for this special event, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to thelexmn.com and sign up via Eventbrite for the first Makers of Minnesota dinner featuring the talented makers of the food building, including the delicious cheese from Alamar Cheese, breads from Bakersfield Flour and Bread, meats from Red Table Meats and Elixirs, and tinctures from Tres Leches. Get your tickets now at thelexmn.com. Hello, you are listening to the Makers of Minnesota podcast, where we talk to cool people doing cool things in the state of Minnesota. My name is Stephanie Hansen, and I'm pleased to be on the line today with a couple of makers that have a product that is very new to me. So I'm assuming it might be new to some of you folks too. The product is called Zambezi. I should say it right because I'm going to do it the Minnesota way. Zambezi, Biltong. And it is a jerky product that I'm really excited about because they're doing a jerky in a different way than we've seen it before. Ranga is with us today, and also Willa. Welcome, you guys. Okay, so I know that this is jerky, but like Biltong, the jerky part, or is the Zambezi the jerky part, or the product name? I'm confused, and I want to get this right for you.
Yeah,
sure.
no,
so just to level set. So Zambezi Biltong, right? Zambezi is basically a river in southern Africa, which originates in Zambia, but it trickles down through about 8 countries and exits into the Indian Ocean. So myself, Mwila, I'm from Zambia, and Ranga's from Zimbabwe, and the Zambezi is a river that splits the 2 countries, right? So it's something that we share in common. So that's something that resonated for both of us. But the biltong comes into the actual dried beef, right? That's the beef snack. And it goes back to pre-refrigeration times where drying meat and preserving it was a necessity, right? You've got no refrigeration, but you need to store your catch, or, after hunting for several months because you don't know how sustainable or sustained you will be. So this was a basic way of, just curing your meats with salt and some herbs that were found in the tundra in southern Africa. And over the years, it has evolved into a novelty, from a necessity into a novelty / delicacy. And upon immigrating to the US, that was something that we were searching for because that's part of our culture. It's a great snack where we come from, and we just couldn't find it. The closest thing that we came to was jerky, which was okay, but it just wasn't what we were used to. So, upon searching all corners of the US, we couldn't find what really ticked the box as biltong for us. So we ended up just embarking and, figuring it out. And we were like, if nobody's going to do this, let's just jump in and do it ourselves.
I'm very interested in first of all, I'm embarrassed, so I'll just go there, because basically it sounds like this Zambezi River is like the Mississippi River. It goes through your entire country, and I had no idea. So great. Because one thing I will say about American schools or United States schools is they don't do a great job with geography. And I was a terrible student in that area. So that aside, it is really cool to me that your process is so different and yet so natural in that it's the way it had been done for thousands of years, really. You're not like taking and rendering a piece of beef and drying it out in a plant. You're just using the salt and the natural ingredients that would happen in preserving food like they've done for thousands of years. So that's pretty cool.
And you'll find with that too, Stephanie. And actually, one of the things, I know you compared biltong to jerky. I would say biltong, in my own view, is significantly better. I always tell everyone it's not like jerky; it's better than jerky. But the biltong aspect, the actual biltong itself, means air dried. Biggest difference you'll see, as Mila was saying, when you taste biltong, is you can actually taste the flavor of the meat because we're taking top sirloin and air drying it for 7 to 8, in some cases 9 days. So it retains that flavor of the meat. And also, one thing we're really big about is no addition of sugar, right? Trying to keep it healthy, but also providing that alternative snack that does have high protein content. I mean, we do have 32 grams of protein in each bag, so we find that being a really good alternative snack for all lifestyles.
You guys are right on time in terms of the market seems like ripe for this product because people are very protein focused. There's a lot of focus on keto, still on the Atkins diet, and also like helping kids get more protein and not necessarily relying on dairy alternatives. So would you say that this is a good product for families and kids and snacks?
Yeah,
it certainly is. I'll take this one, Ranga, right? The reason is, and actually, this is something that we kick ourselves in the behind for, is that it's something that we've been talking about for a good 6 to 7 years, and with good times and other things, it just becomes that story that you talk about around the campfires. And really, if we said to ourselves that if we don't do this during the COVID situation, when things are shut down, we're never going to do it, right? So that's when we jumped into it in the midst of COVID. But from the health aspect, yes, that is very true. It really is that all around great snack, it adults, kids. And that's one thing that has been conflicting for us from a marketing standpoint, because it's always like, oh yeah, you need to figure out your niche. Who's your niche target group? Who's your customer base? And it's difficult for us because unless you're vegan, this is for you, right? So it could be for, your 2-year-old, it could be for grandma, grandpa, you're a sports enthusiast, or, you just want to chill on the couch and have a healthy snack, whatever it is, this kind of checks those boxes. So it's an interesting conundrum to have, I'd say.
I like your packaging. I think it's really eye-catching. How hard has this been? In some ways, you are evangelists for what is a new thing to a lot of people in the United States and certainly in Minnesota. So you have to make this delicious product, but then you have to educate people like me about this delicious product. How hard has that been, or have people been pretty welcoming?
I'd say, I think that's probably been, the tough. I think if you think about, as we did our research, right, a lot of companies that tried to bring biltong or brought biltong into the US, the toughest thing is, brand awareness, right, and product awareness. And for us, I think we've been fortunate because, I think, as we thought about doing this, our purpose around this was really centered around how do we bring our culture and tradition and share it, with our new friends and family, with both Mila and I having immigrated to the US. And, how do we do that in a fun way? And biltong, and we know food is always a good method of doing that. And what we've found is, we've been fortunate to have friends and family that have, helped us get the word out there. But what's been even better is, people are usually hesitant, right? But once they try the product, once they try biltong, I mean, and that alone has helped us as we continue to, get the message out. I mean, I'll use an example. We were at the farmers market a few weeks ago, and one mom and a daughter came and bought, they tried it. I mean, they were hesitant, with, some samples. They tried, they liked it, so they bought a packet. And the next week, I mean, I remember her daughter, and she walks right straight there. She gives me $8. It's like, oh, I have a packet of traditional. And the mom comes, it's like, she hasn't stopped talking about it. I mean, she wanted to go to this to the farmers market and get a packet. So that, for us, as Will and I look at this, right? I mean, that's what brings us joy when now, we're able to share our culture, with our new family and friends here in the U.S.
Has it been, there's a lot of Minnesota connections with food manufacturers and General Mills, and also, obviously, there are a lot of new business initiatives to help Black-owned businesses and businesses driven by people of color because of the murder of George Floyd. Have you guys been able to ride any of that wave in terms of that people are really interested in helping invest in businesses for Black-owned people?
Yeah, it's been an interesting dynamic in that even though we started planning to officially launch, I would say we started the planning process mid last year, around this time. But when we actually intended to launch, of which we launched on February 12th, 2021, this was right in the thick of COVID, right? So we weren't able to do, events or reach out socially, right? So it was very awkward, but we persevered. And I think what kept us afloat was the support from our community. Like Ranga said, our neighbors, our friends, our family, but also extended family and friends, right? With the word of mouth, and also some of the projects that have come out, even from the state, with regards to supporting the small business owners. Certainly, a lot of support with Black-owned businesses, but on the whole, we've had a generous amount of genuine support from the Minnesota community, and it has just shown as we've opened up a bit more from the COVID situation with our farmers markets, getting repeat customers, getting recommendations. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey over the past few months.
Sampling is got to be just totally critical for you guys. And all the grocery stores were shut down, Costco's, the Sam's Clubs, the farmers markets, but everything from a sampling perspective is opening up. Do you have what's called a conversion rate? So do you know if you sample someone, what are the percentage that they will buy the product?
I mean, I would say roughly, and I'm using this based on our experience at, farmers markets and the events we've done. I mean, it's high. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say 80%. I mean,
that's excellent.
So that's where we have the challenges, right? I mean, like, that's why for us, it is important to get people to try the product. And once they try it, because it's something different, right? But once they try it, then it's, hey, give me a bag or two, and then, we have our subscription orders where, we've been fortunate to be able to convert some of those customers we see at the farmers market into, subscription customers.
A bag, you said at the farmers market, is $8. How much is the subscription, and how does that work, and what do they get?
Yeah, so for the subscription, we offer 15% off, our retail price of $8, and and free shipping, for 3 bags or more. And it doesn't matter the frequency. We give people the option, if you want it weekly, if you want it monthly, or as Mila says, if you want it daily.
Twice a day. We've had a couple of those. Yeah.
But what's been fun with the subscription. So one of my neighbors, the firefighter, and actually he subscribes every week. He gets 8 packets, and my daughters, they look forward to Saturday morning. We're gonna pack up the order for Chad, and they run it across the street. So
that's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
Are you in retail stores yet? And what's coming for that? What kind of places are a good fit for you to be sold at?
Sure. So, we've taken a more simplistic but disruptive approach, right? To where I think the typical vendor or maker in this line of field would go straight to retail, right? But for us, in keeping true and being authentic to where we come from, biltong being a social snack, right? Right now, if you go to Southern Africa, you're gonna find biltong in gathering settings, right? Bars, breweries, restaurants. So with the mushrooming microbrew distillery scene in Minneapolis, in the cities, it's been a perfect fit for us to target that market. And the reception has been amazing. We get the same reactions that you would back home to have this protein-filled snack with amazing spices paired with your beer or, your cocktail, whatever it is.
Yum.
And, the more you eat, the more you drink. So the breweries love that.
I was pretty much sold.
There you go. So on the tail end, we also have been nurturing the retail side in that just to take a step back, the way that we actually proceeded was we have another company called Zambezi Kitchen Spices, right? It's primarily African-inspired spices, and we do have those in a few stores in the Twin Cities. So we are in Mini Row Market, Seward Co-op, Ace Hardware in Bloomington, and on the back end, we've been fitting in the biltong into those spots as well, just to complement the spices which we actually use on the biltong. So retail is not our main focus, but as we see fit, we do love to be a part of the small community, part of the co-ops and such, but we don't know what the future holds in the next 6 to 12 months. We might scale up, but that is yet to be seen.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't put this together, but I have your spice. I have your jerk spice. Oh. It's fantastic.
Oh, amazing. There you go.
I think I might have gotten it in. Is it possible I got it in like a Minnesota made box or?
Yes, that's you correct. Did. That's your betcha box.
Yes, that's where I got it, and it's fantastic. I really have liked
amazing.
it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And you guys, you have a hot sauce too, right?
Yes, that's the winter chutney.
Okay, and okay, because that's fantastic too. So, all right, well, this is all coming full circle. Chutney is another thing that people in the United States think there's like only one kind of chutney because they think it's just the mango Major Gray's chutney, and it's like, no, there's all kinds of chutneys. It's just a sauce.
For sure. That's us bringing that African fusion to the Midwest, to the cities. Like Ranga said, this is our adopted home, right? So we're just trying to bring our little contribution of a bit more seasoning and flavor to the Midwest.
It is welcome. We do have kind of this reputation that people don't like spicy foods, and some people don't, but there's a lot more to the ethnic and cultural landscape of spice than just a spice as it is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct.
Exactly. That's why I like to say it's not spicy, it's flavorful.
Yes. Very good description. If someone wants to get on your subscription or they want to find you at a market, where should they be doing that?
Yeah, Tim, I think Mila, mentioned a few of our retail outlets, right? I mean, so Linden Hills, we're typically there every Sunday, and we've also partnered with, you mentioned a few breweries, 612, and they were the pioneers. They gave us a chance, and through them, we've expanded to Forgotten Star Brewery, Able Brewery, Minneapolis Cider Company, but also another avenue that we've been really focusing on as well is local gyms. So we're in Los Campanos, and it's, we've been getting some really, really good, responses there. And then we're also in, Zesa Fitness, which is downtown in Washington. And, and we're continuing to look to, to expand that channel as much as we can. And keeping with the focus of being community-based, the one that I think Will and I are both excited and proud about is, we sponsor Minneapolis City soccer team. So we're the official snack sponsor. We're at every game. and that has been fun. I mean, being part of that community and bringing Biltong to them, and we've become the snack. And actually, sometimes I enjoy running up and down the aisles, and so yeah. So it's been a fun 6 months. But yeah, we're looking and I think it ties into your question earlier, Stephanie. I mean, I think we've been successful so far because of the community has been great. I mean, all those businesses I named. Even being connected with you today. I mean, Frankie Linesmeyer with the Humble Goat. I mean, we're looking to do a partnership there, and how can we explore and disrupt the charcuterie board, right? I mean, everyone is used to salami and the different kinds of meat. Let's add Biltong to the mix, right? So a lot of exciting things to come.
Yeah, I'd love to find you on my charcuterie board. I'm excited to talk with you guys. And I can see that we're pretty early on in your journey. And one of the things that I love to do with Makers of Minnesota is talk to people and then check back in with them in like a year or 2 years to kind of see world domination, because I can see you guys are both super passionate. The product I know is really good. So congratulations. And it's super fun to talk to you. And we'll have you on again here once we see where this goes, because it looks like you got big plans.
Yeah, no,
Amazing.
thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stephanie. And like
thanks.
you said, with our, if anyone wants the subscriptions, it's, our website is www.zambezibiltong.com. And we'll be excited to get an order over to you so you can enjoy our goodness.
I will put that in the show notes too for the episode. So thanks, guys. I really wish you tons of success, and keep up with the spices too, because I loved them.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay.
Much
All right.
appreciated.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.